Hi guys, and a big congrats on How to Blow Up a Pipeline. It's part eco thriller, it's part heist drama, and it's 100% an excellent morality play, and I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Let's begin with you, Miss Ariela. You're so passionate about the project. You didn't just star in it as Xochitl, you also co-wrote and co-produced the film. So why How to Blow Up a Pipeline?
Why not? No, we were all at a point in our lives, Jordan, Daniel, and I, just where we wanted to make something we cared about, with people we cared about. And this book kind of came to Jordan and he got really excited about it. He brought it to Daniel and I. Daniel kind of in mid-conversation about a project we could make together. Daniel thought of making this as a heist movie. I read the book after that, and it's such an invigorating and compelling argument, and it leaves you with so much hope. And we just kind of realized that there are no movies about leftist action like this, where the group doesn't ultimately implode or is painted as a villain for, having a totally righteous cause, but taking too extreme of measures. So we wanted to make kind of Ocean's 11 for eco-terrorists, where it's just an invigorating and inspiring kind of fantasy and wish fulfillment story, but that leaves people with a sense of hope and a sense that there is something that can be done before we get to a point where we need, or where one could argue that you need to blow up a pipeline.
That's right. Now, what about you, Mr. Marcus? Talk to us about your character, Shawn. He kind of brings all the characters together, right?
Yeah, Shawn was a really exciting character for me, because I think unlike a lot of the other characters, Shawn doesn't really have too much skin in the game. He's this college kid who's just like terrified by the world crumbling around him. And I mean, we've all been affected by climate change. But I haven't personally been affected like the characters in our film have, like on that level, to that degree. I don't live near a power plant. I haven't, gotten skin cancer or anything from those sorts of things. We got wildfires that are happening due to climate change near where I live. But so it was like an interesting window because I feel like I could relate to the character, caring so much about what's going on in the world and about other people around him, that he wanted to take action and stand up and gather this group together. And I think it's just kind of exciting because I feel like Shawn is kind of the everyman character. A lot of the audience, I think it'll be easy for them to connect to him because he just cares so much. And it's just exciting. He's just living his normal life and then just decides to take action and build this bomb with this group of people. I think it's a crazy idea. Like, what if you just go from your normal everyday life and you finally full send it and decide to, make an impact on the world?
Yeah. Mr. Jake, the manly cowboy Dwayne. How did you find the heart of your character? Was it the script? Was it director Daniel Goldhaber, the motivation of love, maybe?
Yeah, I think a culmination of all of those things you just described. I think I really do. I do believe it was the ensemble that also brought my character together because, at first glance, Dwayne represents, maybe the more conservative side of things. But then as the film progresses, you see that he's actually almost just as radical as the other characters, in what he's, willing to do to protect the fate of his family and everything that he truly cares about. And it's just an interesting side of the story that, I think a lot of people can relate to when they see the film. And yeah.
You know what? You're an interesting character, by the way, because it's, you don't think of your stereotypical cowboy to be part of the left movement, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a right-wing thing. So it's a dichotomy and it's a conundrum, I think.
Yeah. It's just he just represents the other side of what it means to take action. and you know, it's not only affecting like our future, but it's like, you know, everything is always about, when you read about climate change, it harps so much on the future, but I feel like Dwayne is really, it's so it's poignant because it's how it's affecting him currently and like right now. And like you know, they're trying to take his home away from him that has been in his family for, you know, generations and generations. So you know, and it also, the film is, it also talks about how we need to act now. You know, there is no waiting anymore, and there won't be a future if we don't do something right now. So
Right. Now, Miss Ariela, in your research, when you're writing the film or you're producing it, what did you discover about environmental protesters that surprised you?
I think the thing that was the most surprising is this terrorism upcharge that is kind of plaguing a lot of radical activists right now. I mean, there are people being upcharged with 10 to 15 years in prison for totally nonviolent acts and things like that that are shocking and a totally disgusting and disgraceful legal precedent that I am very passionate about not letting it take hold. And I think it's really important that people look into the cases such as Jessica Resnick and Ruby Montoya and things like that, people who committed nonviolent acts who are getting this terrorism upcharge that absolutely needs to be stopped.
Yeah. You know what? I also love the direction by Daniel Goldhaber, by the way. I mean, my question is this, was he attached to the project from the very beginning, or did he come in? I mean, how did he get involved? I love Cam, by the way.
Yeah, Danny's great. He was the one who had the idea to make it a heist movie. So it was kind of him, Jordan, and I from the beginning, just writing and making this movie. And Danny and I really put everything on the line to produce it. So it's very much his baby in many ways.
Oh, now this is for all of you, okay? But let's begin with you, Mr. Marcus. At its heart is the question, is violence the answer? What do you think?
Damn. Okay. I think it is time for us to hit back for sure. I don't want to incite anybody to do anything. Let me just put that out there right now. But it does feel like it's kind of getting to the point where like nothing is going to happen unless we take action. And I mean, if you look at all of the, and my character kind of points this out in the film, if you look at all of the past, you know, activist / rights movements that have occurred in the past, you know, something has had to, you know, stoke the fire. So I'm not going to say violence is the answer, because violence is never the answer. Let me put my hands up and say that right now. But something radical does need to occur, I think, to, you know, get us on the path of where we want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I feel like we're continually we're swapping out our gas vehicles for electric cars, which are just creating another level of waste, and we're doing all these things. I feel like in America we kind of like we solve everything with consumerism, and I think the key would be, you know, just starting to consume less and stop coming up with new inventions and like kind of return to more of a, you know, Princess Mononoke, you know, native lifestyle.
I totally agree. You know what? I don't want to mislead the viewers, by the way. I mean, the film is a thriller. It's an exciting, nail-biting thriller. It's not all the morals and everything, you know? But Mr. Jacob, what do you think? Do you agree with, or what do you think is violence?
Yeah. I have, I mean, not to like go into like this dumbed down analogy or like not to sound trite, but you know, I was on a school bus every day going to elementary school, and there was this kid that just would not stop harassing me, and you know, physically, verbally. And there was a point where, you know, I finally came home from school and I was crying, and my dad said, I think, you know, you've done everything you can to tell this person that to kindly stop, and that now you need to, unfortunately, you need to react in a physical manner to let him know that you're not standing for it anymore. and you know, take that for what you will. But I finally did, and it stopped. And I don't know if that's necessarily the answer for climate change, but it definitely, you know, I think that there's this bully that needs to, you know, unfortunately, we need to do kind of radical things in order for just like the world to kind of wake up a bit.
For some change to happen. That's right. What about you, Miss Ariela? What do you think?
I would say I would love to define what is violence to begin with, because I actually do not want to conflate the act of sabotaging property with violence. I would consider what the oil companies are doing to us, the human lives that are at stake because of the actions of these large companies that value profits over people. That is violence. That is violence that I cannot endorse, and I will never say is the answer. I would say people taking back their power is never violent.
That's right.
Are.
That's now real
I don't
quick,
are.
and this goes to all three of you again. Miss Ariela, begin with you. How to Blow Up a Pipeline opens on April 7th. What do you hope for viewers to get after watching the film?
I hope it leaves people with a sense of hope. I hope it galvanizes people to go out into their communities and find the ways that they can act to prevent a climate catastrophe and prevent circumstances that would ever lead to an act like this being necessity.
And you, Mr. Jacob?
Yeah, I would also hope that people feel kind of emboldened to do their part and do some research, and also maybe read the book too, because it's incredibly enlightening and and provides like a very interesting perspective on climate change.
And Mr. Marcus?
I would hope for people to kind of piggybacking off what Ariela said, to, you know, take away with you know, just a little bit of hope for the future, and to get out there and do what they can. You know, we're not trying to get people to go out there and do something wild, but just like, you know, take the small steps that you can every day to, I don't know, at least reduce your footprint, you know. Do something.
You guys are amazing, fantastic ensemble, by the way. A big congrats on How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Again, a nerve-wracking thriller that will stick with you long after the film is done. So congratulations on that, and good luck on everything, okay?
Thank you, Manny.
Have a great day.